The Sky Island mountain chains of Sonora, Mexico are one of a handful of places that I try to hunt every year. Me and my buddy Janis Putelis, we like to go for Coues deer here in January. Now, it's the beginning of the year, but I think of it as the end of the year because it's my last big game hunt. It's how I close things out. And I'm fascinated by the deer as much as the country. They're hard to spot, they're hard to hunt, they are a mystery. And on this episode of Rough Cuts, we're gonna watch a Coues hunt play out. Then we're gonna back up and dissect the whole thing for you in greater detail to give you an insider's perspective on hunting Coues in Mexico. Get zeroed and grab your popcorn.
Never know, you pop over that hill, biggest goose buck you ever seen standing there.
Hunting Coues deer in January in Mexico, I'll sometimes say that it's the hunting highlight of my year.
I think if you walk that ridge the horses are on it, you could get a good look into that next one. We don't want to commit to one dead at this point, but he's a very good buck.
That's all that matters, man.
Little oak draws and some of these oak draws coming in from the other side. Just work my way out that way because it's just not happening up here right now. You know, we call Yanni Baja Yanni, and later when it's better light dirt, you'll want to come in and film. You'll want to be where I'm at to film Baja Yanni in action, because if you watch right here, I'm telling you, you watch right here, you'll see that clinch when it gets like a particularly dicey situation. This right here. As he gets older, it gets lost in the sags and wrinkles, but when he was younger, that would clench up.
Well, it's our third morning. We got a weather report. We got weather coming in, like rain and cooler temps. And in general, these Coues deer don't like rain or wind. We feel like the hunting conditions are going to deteriorate. So we got three full days left here, but really maybe only 2 good days of hunting. So, you know, goals might change a little bit.
No, we're
Did you have to clench your jaw on him, or were you able to do it unclenched? You're locked up in the fog, right?
Oh, yeah.
So tonight, we're hunting a spot. We've been hunting in the vicinity. We haven't necessarily spent a whole bunch of time glassing right into this zone where the cowboy says the big buck is. But Jason Phelps is on one end of it, and I'm gonna be on the other end of it, on this hill above me.
Dude, tonight's supposed to be one of those always like dirt. I can't handle the stress.
Shit, Seth. Is it slippery? Poquito wet.
Oh. Man, we worked our asses off for that one, Dirt.
Must have been bedded right there.
Giannis and I have been hunting down in Mexico how long?
10 years probably.
Maybe 10 times?
Yeah.
We've hunted down for Coues deer in Mexico enough times to be verging on subject matter expertise.
Yeah, you could say we're very familiar with this hunt now.
Now, in the time we've done this, it winds up being a thing a lot of people ask about because it's like you're rut hunting desert whitetails in January on these huge, huge ranches. But you have to get good enough to really have any success at it. It's a hard game when it comes to glassing. It's a hard game when it comes to traveling.
I mean, all that being said, it is one of our, if not the favorite hunt of the whole year for us.
And we're gonna dig in right now and further dissect a border country Coues deer hunt in Sonora, Mexico. The thing about Mexico is the enormity of how much space you have to hunt on some of these ranches or estancias. Like if you look, like that's all fair game. And you've never hunted here before. And you gotta start dissecting that. January in Mexico, I'll sometimes say that it's the hunting highlight of my year.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's all deer country.
And I personally love hunting a brand new ranch every couple, 3 years just for the sense of adventure I get out of it.
Yeah, I disagree.
Next to little fingers, you wouldn't bother a deer either until you got way down.
That's Jason Phelps on the radio. It's interesting how in Mexico it's totally become commonplace for us to use radios to hunt deer.
Going into a big area like this, we'll kind of start out by just spreading out and getting to different high spots, and we'll be talking on the radio about what we're seeing as we try to pick apart where deer are, what the plan is. It feels like information gathering. That plant I was standing by is Ocotillo. I always imagine whooping someone with that Ocotillo, which I haven't got a chance to do yet.
What we're talking about there is trying to help Jason actually like get another angle. These little deer are so tough to find and then kill that if you can get multiple angles watching them, so that way if the people that are actually in pursuit lose them, maybe another angle of optics, you know, can keep track of them.
Whose blood is on my hood?
Probably dirt.
And on my backpack.
Probably dirt's blood. I see you've gone to using a little Crazy Creek chair for glassing.
Yeah, age. You know, we call Yanni Baja Yanni, and
my dentist has often asked me if I clench my jaws a lot at night, and maybe it's just from too much off-road Baja in Mexico.
I had gotten that new big headlamp, and I was telling Yanni how it's the best headlamp in the world, and Yanni observed that my headlamps always change, but I always feel like I have the best headlamp in the world.
We got a weather report. We got weather coming in, like rain and cooler temps. And we feel like the hunting conditions are going to deteriorate. So we got three full days left here, but really maybe only 2 good days of hunting.
That's a big part of hunting Mexico is you go down there and you're planning on like the world's biggest deer, and then you got to gamble every day.
Yeah, because usually we try to plan, if we have 6 hunters, we have 6 full days, and we're trying to average a buck a day.
Yep.
And at this point, I think we're like 1 buck down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can see one of those horses there in the background. Those things are just everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're feral or if they're just like the retired horses or if they're just, you know.
But they're useful because they're super useful because when you're trying to talk people in to what you're looking at in Mexico, you often are using livestock. You know, you're like, the red and white horse, you know?
The 3 black cows.
Yeah, see the 3 black cows? Not the 2, but the 3. See, this looks like an action moment here. I like how you got your ear pro around your neck, because the thing I would do that all day and still not put it on when I went and shot. And it would just mess with my head. In those packs, people are always like, what's in your pack? Here, a lot of optics.
Oh, easily 20 pounds of optics,
Yeah.
including the tripod.
I'll carry maybe a couple sets of binos and a spot and scope. Yeah,
Can't stress how hard it is to see those little buggers, man. So it doesn't seem like it'd be important, but man, you gotta have still glass.
Desperation's starting to creep in now, man.
Oh, this is when I got one of Matt's rigs totally high centered on the rear axle.
Yep. Yeah, you can always figure you got to kill a buck a day and you got to replace a tire a day. Good job, Yanni.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
You had that little adventure hat on, which helped.
Yeah.
Did you have to clench your jaw, Yanni, or were you able to do it unclenched? Probably clenched your little butt cheeks too. I bet you.
Yeah.
There's that bench. See that? It doesn't even look like a bench. That horizontal timber strip.
That's where we saw the mountain lions.
Yeah.
Now, retrospectively, looking back, we can say that the rut just wasn't quite on for the first 5 days. We were seeing a few deer, but it just wasn't like we weren't seeing the upper echelon of bucks, and we weren't seeing the rut activity just all day long like we usually hope to.
No, the possible window with Coues deer, the possible window of dates that the rut can occur, I feel is much bigger than whitetails up here.
Looks like you're still like working on making your transition from binoculars to spotting scope a little smooth.
I had updated to a new clamp. Nothing sucks the energy out of a Coues deer hunt like the rain, man. I mean, deflates. Cause look, the fog.
Can't see.
Yeah, it's like you can't see, but if the fog wasn't there, there wouldn't be nothing to look at anyways, because those things hate the rain, man.
Yeah, they're tucked up underneath some bushy tree. Yeah.
Under the oaks, whatever the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
They hate the rain, and you can't see, and like you're all the way down there. It's so freaking depressing.
You look kind of
Look at me.
depressed there. Oh.
Then you go like,
maybe.
oh, no. You're like, oh my God, we're gonna fight a giant. They're like, oh no, we're not, because it's raining. Yeah, then it snowed.
Which again, you never expect, even though we've seen it before, you don't ever expect snow in Mexico.
We haven't necessarily spent a whole bunch of time blasting right into this zone where the cowboy says the big buck is, but Jason felt
That was a very important sentence you just said, where the cowboy said.
Every year. Every year.
The Cowboys tell you about the giant that lives over yonder.
And usually about day 6, we're like, let's go find him. He's gotta be there. Okay, but at this point, we found some bucks. Even though we were kind of looking in the same zone, Jason found a buck on your hillside. And then Seth and I found a buck on my hillside. Yeah, we bailed off a giant ridge, crossed a creek, little bitty creek, and then had to get up on another little bump, and then we're able to see into this Ocotillo patch.
Oh, there you go.
3 does, and then that buck over there. Out of the whole week, that's the only one I spotted bedded on the side of the bush that faces the valley.
Grooming your shooting spot.
Oh yeah.
So how far is that buck then?
The one I'm about to shoot at?
Yeah.
Like, it ended up being like 560 yards.
And this literally, like, this is happening at the same time.
Yeah, and as you can see, it is getting dark. In Mexico, they don't really have there's no regulation that says you have to stop hunting 30 minutes after sunset. It's literally just, you make the call when you can't shoot anymore, right? And I don't know about for you, but for me, it was down to
and everything was soaked.
minutes.
But I kind of knew, like, this buck was out on this face, and I kind of knew that we were all right on time. And not at all spooked.
No.
Oh. Dude, tonight's supposed to be one of those always light dark.
Yeah, the last like 3 hours of our hunt, the rut turned on.
Dude, if it could have been like that night all those days, man, that's why you go to Mexico, man. Here's a problem you're not often in Mexico. It's crit cross.
No, all the years we've hunted down there, we've never been on a ranch where you had to across what you actually call a river.
Bill. Yeah, jeez, man, pick a better spot, dude. Wasn't that deep?
We're running out of daylight, man. Those Coues deer are so small that you gotta go look for one in the dark, man. It's gonna be hard to find.
Yeah. Not the giants we were gonna get when we first showed up, but man, we worked our asses off for that one dirt. Yep, there he is, soaking wet Coues deer.
Even a mature.
See how he had all that? He had all that from raking his antlers. He's all full of. His burrs were all full of vegetation.
I was gonna say, even their face has a fawn-like look to it.
Mm-hmm.
So little. That was a good hunt.